So how will this affect the other candidates, and what are they going to say on the debate stage? We're going to talk about that. Let's bring in our GOP political commentator. Rasheed Walters joins us alongside our contributing editor at American Spectator, Jeffrey Lord. And back in studio here, our special guest today, former vice chair of the New Jersey Federation of Republican Women, Melanie Collette. Jeffrey, let's start with you. The former president is not going to be at the first debate. DeSantis' team responded to Trump's decision. DeSantis' press secretary tweeting in part, quote, "Donald Trump and some congressional endorsers are listless vessels. DeSantis believes your trust should be earned, and the vision, plan, and record to beat Joe Biden. That's why DeSantis will show up Wednesday and Trump will not." So, Jeffrey, your reaction to that? What do you think of DeSantis' comments? What do you think about the Trump not attending?
Well, I think that Donald Trump just looms over this incredibly here, whether he was on stage or not. And I think the real debate, the sort of underlying two things in this debate are, number one, you've got all these candidates on stage who are running to really be the alternative to Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, has held that position for some time. It's been slipping and slipping fairly rapidly with money and campaign staff laid off and that sort of thing. So everybody else on the stage is going to be looking to replace him as the runner-up. And the other thing, the other undercurrent there that nobody is going to say out loud is you're going to have a lot of people on that stage silently thinking in their heads, I can be Trump's vice president, so I need to make a good performance here. They won't say it, but that's what's going on here. Yeah,
and Rasheed, to that point, do you feel that with Trump not on stage, that some of these other candidates can maybe make a good case? Because we know that in those debates, Trump sometimes can bully the other candidates. They don't get their points across. Is this a good opportunity for one of them to kind of make some inroads there?
Well, to be honest with you, Donald Trump is on stage. He's on stage in the person of Vivek Ramaswamy, who is actually, according to a Saturday poll, is tied with Governor Ron DeSantis. And the message would be clear through Vivek of America versus globalism, neoconism, and establishment politics, something which GOP voters, by overwhelmingly supporting President Trump and now supporting Vivek Ramaswamy for second place, is sending a very loud message that this is a new day for the party, that we are going towards an America First agenda, and we are going to reject what many of the other candidates will be debating, which is the traditional establishment, neoconism, and globalism.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Melanie, what do you make of that? Do you think Ramaswamy is going to, jump out front here?
I think he is. I've been following him since his campaign first jumped off. He did a very small thing at CPAC, and it was crowded out the door, around the corner. You couldn't even make it onto his suite room floor. And so he is very exciting. But I will say this, that, if President Trump is not there, then you're not vying for President of the United States. You probably are vying for VP. And also, I hear that President Trump has some other plans during that same time. He is really very directly going up against that debate, which is an interesting tactic, and I think it's probably going to work.
Let's get to this. Trump, he's leading big in Iowa, also in New Hampshire, but the new face in second, Chris Christie, and he's leading DeSantis by a narrow margin. Rasheed, what do you make of this? Is Chris Christie, is he a dark horse in this race?
Well, you mean the same Chris Christie that recommended hiring Christopher Wray? And if you are a Catholic and a conservative, Christopher Wray's FBI listed you as a domestic terrorist for your beliefs on pro-choice. I don't think Chris Christie is a dark horse. I think he's a loudmouth. What does he have to offer that is different than President Trump's America First agenda, besides just blatant criticism and insecurity from his behalf about the president? I don't really foresee Chris Christie going very far.
Jeffrey, same question to you. Chris Christie, is he the dark horse in this race? What do you make of him?
Just running a campaign, just attacking Donald Trump isn't going to do you very well. No matter who you are, if you run for president, you got to say, if I'm elected, I will do X. And basically his message is, elect me and don't elect Donald Trump. That's not going to work.
I have to go to Melanie on this because New Jersey, Chris Christie well. You've got the final word.
I agree with the other panelists that Chris Christie's whole campaign is Donald Trump is a bad man. He's a big meanie. And he basically is trying to trump Trump. Christie is imitating Trump, is channeling Trump. And it's really not a good look. I'm kind of disappointed in that. I don't think he's going to be the dark horse. And if you look at those polls, you'll see that that's where Christie's been focusing his energy, and DeSantis hasn't been quite so much. So, and it was a very small sample size of that poll as well, 800 people out of like 300,000 Republicans. So I wouldn't give much credence to that poll either.
Exactly. Polls, I mean, there's going to be so many more that come out before the election. But obviously, can't wait to see how they do on the debate stage. We'll be watching for that. Thank you so much, Rasheed Walters, Jeffrey Lord. Appreciate it. Melanie, you're sticking around. We'll get to more. Have a good weekend, everybody.